Everything you have been taught to believe about life has been a complete lie. Everyone here has been manipulated for profits made by the elite. They care nothing about you, your family, your friends, your health, your life. This extends to your beliefs about the world, love, food, drugs, and relationships, just to name a few. There are so many ways you have been fed erroneous information, but for today my focus is on relationships. Every thought or idea about relationships, fairy tales, romances, how we look, how we dress, and movies and books written are completely erroneous. We have been brainwashed with ads, magazines, and subliminal messages from movies and television. All of this to keep your life in fear and line their pockets with money. We have been taught to believe that one day we will find our prince, princess charming and live happily ever after. So many single people are searching for the one, only to be let down over and over again. There are tons of dating sites promising you that you will find your perfect match. Others believe the more you pay, the better chance you will have. Wrong. Some of you fear love because you relate love with pain. Love is anything but pain. The breakup might be painful, but love is not. In truth, breakups are only painful because you were not taught the reason why relationships end. If you knew the laws of the universe, you would understand life and see everything that you thought was negative wasn't always as positive. There are 50 universal laws that I suggest you not only learn but follow. These laws have always been in effect. These are the only laws to live by. They govern your life. The law of attraction states, you attract what you are. If you love yourself 100% unconditionally, then you can only attract someone who loves you as much as you love yourself. Everyone is you. We are not separate but one. Remember when you felt totally in love? Take that same feeling, that same energy and direct it inwards towards yourself. The only person you truly are searching for is yourself. Love of self is mandatory. This is how you attract anything or anyone for that matter. The law of resistance states that which you resist you draw to you. We are only energy who vibrate at different levels. The more you focus on what you don't want, you create the opposite, you draw it to you. When you focus on what you don't want, you put energy into it, therefore, bringing it to you. For instance, if you think that all men, women are cheaters, then you draw cheaters into your life. Whatever you believe, you create to prove to yourself that you are correct. If you believe there are no available men, women, then that is what you will see. Are you following me? This extends to everything in your life, not just relationships. There is also the law of unconditional love. First and foremost, you must love yourself unconditionally first. In order for any relationship to survive, you must also enter into your relationships with unconditional love. It's about two people who are their own person who complement each other. It's not about control, demands, and expectations. You are already complete, so should not be looking for someone to complete you, or make you happy. No one can do that for you. Whatever you put your attention on you create. What you worry and fear about with relationships, you draw that to you. Everyone is you. You attract to you what you feel and believe. Instead of putting your focus outside of yourself, the person who you are truly searching for is you. You have always been the love you are searching for. Everything begins with you. Another law is the law of manifestation, which creates what you believe. There are only 3 steps in manifesting anything you desire, including a relationship. The first step is your desire to have a relationship. The second step is the universe automatically goes out to bring that to you. You trust and believe it will happen. You tell yourself you are a great manifester and you always get whatever you want. You are very positive about it. Then you let it go, not to think about it anymore because you know and trust it will come. The third step is allowing it to come. Most of you stop the allowing process because you bring in resistance by your words and thoughts. You tell yourself, I never get what I want. Or, I will never have this relationship. Nothing good ever happens for me. By saying any of those words, you stop your manifestation. When a negative thought enters your mind, change your focus. Listen to music, take a walk, or take a nap. Then say to yourself, I am a great manifester. I can always manifest whatever I want. I always get whatever I want. It is that simple. Remember, where your attention goes, the energy flows. You then let the desire go because you trust it will happen. The more you can be specific of what you want to attract, the more the universe can create this for you. When I was 21, going through a divorce, a voice told me to write down the traits I wanted in a relationship. Whatever I wanted at the time I would list. For example, I would write on my list for a person who was fun, exciting, a man's man, communicative, and affectionate. That person would come into my life exactly how I wrote him. I was young and not that experienced, so I learned what I thought I liked I didn't, and would keep changing my list. Each time I wrote a new list or deleted items and added other traits. That exact person would enter my life. This happened for years until I married. I always thought I married the right man for me, yet I kept attracting insecure men. I have been married 3 times to completely different men on the outside. Meaning different races, different upbringings, and different ages. They were all insecure. At that time I didn't realize it was I who was insecure. I attracted my feelings about myself in others. After my last divorce in 2008, I decided it was time for me to find myself. I have yet been in any long-term relationship as I was not ready. I would think I was healed of my past only to continually attract unavailable men. Men who were married, men who lived out of town, or men who worked all the time. This was telling me that I was not available. Are you following me? In the beginning of this article, I mentioned that we have been living many lies creating the opposite of what we want. This is one of the ways we have been manipulated off of the universal laws. I have always loved watching romantic comedies. In my mind I figured that was harmless, but I was mistaken. All romantic movies and novels have the same scenario. Boy meets girl, they have problems, they break apart, then magically come together and live happily ever after, a fairy tale. So many of us, including my old self, spend so much time searching for this fairy tale romance. These movies create resistance big time. The other night I noticed how automatically my mind went into resistance mode. My thoughts were, oh, that would never happen for me. I also started looking back at my past loves and then noticed it never has. It was then that I made the connection of how these movies I thought were harmless, were anything but, a ploy to keep us from our truths. We have been programmed into disbeliefs that have intensified our fears and kept us from our dreams. I stopped that thought and changed my focus. Otherwise I would be back in resistance mode from attracting the relationship I am manifesting. In truth, we are amazing creators who can create abundance, love, bliss, and our own paradise. It is time to know what we can do and learn about the truths of life. Follow this process, which is so simple just by changing your thoughts. It takes practice because it's not what you are used to. Do not badger yourself if you make a mistake. The more time you spend on yourself practicing, being positive and loving every part of yourself, it becomes automatic. Become the manifester you truly are and manifest yourself your own relationship. When the time is right and you are in vibrational alignment with your desire, you will have what you have been searching for. By releasing fear, you raise your vibration, which in turn keeps you in vibrational alignment with receiving everything you desire. Are you ready to find love? Start first with yourself. You must be healed to attract a healed person. Everything stems from self. Release any guilt from your past. Release thoughts that there was or is something wrong with you. You are a beautiful person who has their own special gifts to offer this world. Release your past, period. Live only in the present moment. When you worry about your future or your outcomes, you stop your desires. You create your future by what you believe today. Always be in touch with your feelings. Use your feelings as your guide. Your own feelings are a vibrational lens to see where you are at. Your true self is love. When you become emotional, angry, guilty, etc., you are not in alignment with your true self. When you are not aligned with your true self, you are in resistance. Use only your feelings about each person you meet. As soon as you see a red flag, leave. Your heart always has your answers and knows what's best for you. Leave your friends out of this as they have their own perceptions. No two people see the same thing. Leave out your past and logic and only follow your feelings. Remember, you attract yourself to you. When you truly love yourself 100% unconditionally, you can only attract someone who loves you as much as you love yourself. This is law. This is how it has always been. The time is now.